Disruption Networks.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Monday. Local Music Monday. Live in full effect. I don't know where my notes are. This place is in shambles. Only I'm in shambles. This place really isn't in shambles. It's Local Music Monday. Shout out to the sponsors. EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up at EJAMoving.com. 315-335-0516. The dude can move a freaking piano. He can move anything you want. He'll move an elephant. He'll move your grandmother to a nursing home. He'll move you to Cleveland. It doesn't matter, Justin. He'll move your gear. All that gear that you got with Showtime, he'll move your band. He'll move anything. Hit him up today, 315-335-0516. Home of the free boxes, too. Not only will he move everything, he'll pack up your boxes. He gives you them for free, and he brings them wherever the hell they got to go. He's an awesome, awesome dude. Eddie Alsharmer, EJAMoving.com. Shout out to my attorney, Dave Longaretta. Give him a call today if you need legal advice, 315-735-6162. Thank you to Utica Coffee. Today, I am drinking Jamaican Me Crazy, and I am Jamaican my motor mouth today, bro. That's what's happening. Drink so much of that shit, I turn into cornholio. Thank you to Utica Coffee. Thank you to Saranac. Thank you to Joey's at 307. Shout out Matt Grabsky. I love you. And Matt Grabsky actually turned me on to this company right here, Vast Custom Shops. They made me, look at Justin, I got a new Disruption mug.
I love it.
Isn't this cool?
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you to Vast Customs. So you can check them out on Facebook, Vast Custom Shops. And they're on Instagram and whatnot. I think that we're going to do some stuff in the future together.
Absolutely.
So this is really cool.
I love it.
Like I said, it's Local Music Monday. Joining me, he was absent last week, and he's back, and I'm happy to see him back. Justin Smithson. How was your weekend, bro?
It was good.
Did you play?
I did.
Where were you at?
Hang on, I got to look that up. I suck. I can't.
What do you mean you got to look it up?
I do. I played at Club Monarch for a private party for my friend Jose and his family. It was his mom's 60th birthday party, so the trio played. But I had a benefit earlier for a friend of mine, Dan Farrington, who passed away. He had cancer, and he passed away rather suddenly, and so he left behind two young girls. So we pulled together, did a benefit up at the Fish and Game Club in Mohawk. And it was just a huge turnout. Chicken barbecue was great. We had a great turnout and raised a whole buttload of money. So one thing I love about this community, it's such a giving community. A few times I've reached out to our guest today and asked him to donate his time, and he has been so gracious enough to do so on many occasions, Barded Mudfest and other different charity events that we've done throughout the years. And our guest today, Mr. Mike Sales from the band Simple Props.
Hey, hold on, guys.
Should we call him Michael Pipes?
Michael Pipes.
Michael Pipes?
That's right.
I think that's what we should nickname you.
He was our second choice today because Barney wasn't available. But, hey, glad to see you, Mike.
Actually, he was our third choice because the original guest canceled.
The original guest canceled, yeah.
Oh, great. Glad to be in the top 20.
Baby, you're always in my top 5, okay? Don't you worry about it.
Man, it's great to see you. It's funny that you got to pretend that you were on your couch today.
She's not pretending.
Why not? It's like, I wish I could pick it up and play, but it's not going to work for me.
I wish you could too, brother. I wish you could too. So
I'm not as good at it as Justin is.
No doubt, brother.
Talking about the master right there.
Not too many are. You're right about that, man. The three of us go back for so many years, but Mike, I don't know your backstory at all. I just remember you from the electric company and then on, but I don't know your backstory. Where do you come from? Like, where's your music ability from? Who's your inspirations? Give me all that backstory, Mike Sales.
God.
Lay it on us, brother.
Give it to me, baby.
Holy cow, you do know you're talking to a 52-year-old who's got a lot of backstory.
Oh, boy.
That could be hours.
Bring it.
We got
it. I'll give you the abridged version. Let's see. God Almighty. I'm raised in a pretty musically affluent family. My father's actually. It's a funny story. My father, we grew up on like jazz and new age music, and we play a lot of you couldn't even come into our house without having some kind of Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, jazz going on, Earl Clue, all this just amazing jazz music. And my father ends up like in his 70s playing drums for a country band, and it just
Wow.
cracks me up. But my mother was a vocalist, a singer for churches and that kind of stuff. My brother, my next younger brother, or my older brother, he's a drummer. My next younger brother he played sax and he did that kind of stuff. And the only one that's really not doing much is my youngest brother. And he really, we're all into music, but he never really got into doing music either part time or full time or doing any of that. But we're all music fans. And I really didn't get into playing music full time until I think it was like 19. Well, actually, when I was in the service, I got in my first band when I was in the service, and that was 1980. Yeah, it's in the 80s. Don't anybody put that into perspective. I was like
Carry the 2. I was 5.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention your age at the top of the podcast,
That's
man.
true.
So it's you're not hiding anything.
That's true. Yeah, that's true too. Let's see, 80. I think it was like 88 or 89. I got it when I was in the Air Force full time. We had this just like part time like local band that we played in, and that was like in and around New Mexico area. But then I moved back here, and I didn't get back into music again until like maybe 93, 94 when I started playing with Bill the Cat originally back in the day.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that was
that's
like-
right. You're Bill the Cat. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. You're that guy.
I was
Sorry,
that guy.
I'm just laughing at Z.
I forgot about that. I had a flashback for a second. The Blue Mule. I just had a flashback of the Blue Mule.
The Route 5 tour.
Yeah, the Route
Oh, yeah.
5 tour, right. I
Remember the
puked
Route
all along
5
the
tour?
Route 5 tour.
Yeah.
Everybody hit the Route 5 tour back in the day. Oh my God, it was insane. I remember watching Jim Inman like the first time. He was just like him and his acoustic guitar like in like 92. I don't remember the place what it was. It wasn't the Blue Mule. It was the one up on the corner of like 365 and
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
That's where Myron's was, right?
What's
It
that?
burnt down, I think, didn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Didn't
where
it burn
Myron's
down?
was.
Myron's is in Rome.
Right, 365. That's what he said.
Or, I'm sorry, no, 233.
233. Yeah,
Oh, 233.
yeah.
That was Looney Tunes then, right?
Yeah. Right now it's like an RV rental place or something
Yeah.
right now.
An RV park.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason why I said that Myron's burnt down, so I know that Myron's was on the corner. Well, not on the corner, but it was like the little junction there to get to 365.
Yeah. In Rome. Right.
When Myron's was there, but that burnt down. Yeah, burnt it right down to the ground.
Yeah.
A lot of underage kids got arrested there.
Oh yeah. So there was Looney Tunes, there was the Blue Mule, and there was the Garden Cafe. Remember the Garden Cafe?
Oh my God! Yeah, the Garden Cafe. Yeah.
And then
the
what's the
part
other
I
one?
really loved back in the day is when all the bands ended up like after their shows, and everybody was so hammered. Where was the go-to spot after shows where everybody showed up for breakfast?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah,
Tiffany's.
always.
Everybody. You could go there at 3 a.m. and you're like, there's 4 or 5 or 6 bands all just like feeding their face and just like just yapping and yelling between tables. It was fun. It was so much fun that, It really was. You miss it. And back when you owned the bar, we all hit down on Varick Street. That was just as hopping then as it is now,
Yeah, it was crazy. We had some wild times.
Oh, yeah.
The Route 5 tour. But then we got a bunch of people chiming in over on Facebook. Then it turned over into Tombstone. Looney Tunes turned into
right.
Tombstone. I remember that. I also want to give a shout out. We got to give a shout out to Motor Lord. They're always down with us, man. We're down with the Motor Lord brothers.
Love it.
Shout out to Helen Tenuta out there in Chicago. Thank you to Chi-Town. Go Blackhawks. I'm not really I'll root for Patrick Kane just because he's from Buffalo. But and shout out to Kristen Johnson and Freddie Waters, Joe Trizzolino. Everybody's in the house. If they could do us a favor, click the share button if you're out there on Facebook. And Gridley Page is checking in. Tiffany's was the last post-bang hangout. It was great back then. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
You know, when it turned into Tombstone, really I have one story to tell, and I will not say if I was a part of this band or not, and I will not name names of if this actually happened or not by whom. But anyway, a band played at Tombstone Saloon, and they got cheated out of money. And so on the way out, this person that I know decided to steal half of a ham out of the cooler. Wait a minute. And had these German stink bombs, okay? These German, they're like World War II stink bombs. And he let 5 of them off in the bar and took off, got in the car and said, go, 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 and took off. And that was the last time that that particular band ever played at that place. And but that was the funny story I have about that corner bar there.
Hey, at least you got a ham out of the deal.
I don't know who got the ham out of the deal. I have no idea who did it.
Did anybody ever eat the ham?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Possibly.
What's a little pork among friends? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least he took it out before the stink bomb set. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that was a great spot. That whole Route 5 was fun.
Oh, sure.
You know. Oh my God! It was just all the way to Vernon and playing the. What's the one that's in Vernon right now that we
Nothing Fancy.
Nothing Fancy. Yeah, Nothing Fancy still going on, and they're still bringing in some good bands out there. So, yeah, it's just we're 20 years plus of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then too, you got the Route 5 tour that went back down towards the valley too. You had Mr. McGill's, and in like the early '90s, you had the Sunrise Lounge.
What?
You never remember Sunrise?
No.
If you go past McGill's going towards the valley.
That's not a hotel, like an hourly motel?
No.
With a vibrating bed?
No.
I always thought that was like a vibrating bed place.
No, that's the Valley Brook.
That's the Valley. That's not the
that's where he used to get. That's where he used to give you all that extra ham in the back room.
Right. I got a story. Stick on after this. I'll give you a story a little bit later. I can't say it on here right now. But
wait. So you said the Roof 5. It was the Sunnyside Lounge.
No, the Sunrise Lounge.
Sunrise Lounge.
Yeah, it used to be. If somebody knows out there what it was called before, I mean, I think you'd know what it was called before. A little tiny bar though, but like you could go all the way past Vernon. All the way down into the valley. Yeah. You could play bars all up and down Route 5 like that, But I mean, of course, I came on the scene in '94, so I didn't go past McGill's because we never played in Utica in the beginning. You know what I mean? So it was all valley. We were Little Falls all the way to McGill's, and that was our Route 5 tour. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Route 5 being like when we got to a town, then that would be the town that we play at. We played Brownies and Glory Days and all that shit. Remember the Varsity Club? Anybody remember you're probably not a Valley guy.
Varsity,
I was in my blackouts.
Yeah, the Varsity Club was up, and then it turned into Banditos. And I was 15 years old going into Banditos, and they'd have my drink on the bar for me. At 15. But anyway.
You probably had that beard back then, too, though, huh?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I looked, oh, my God.
You looked 15?
Oh, I looked 15, yeah.
Paul Ernst is saying Dino's?
Dino's.
Yeah?
Dino's Lounge, yep. That's exactly what it was. I knew, and it had like a big, the sign out front, if you looked one side said Sunrise Lounge, and it was like a sun. The back of it had Dino's Lounge, and it was like a dinosaur, looked like a green brontosaurus. It was like, yeah, anyway. Sorry.
I don't remember that one. I don't know. It must have been in my blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
I want to go back to Bill the Cat. I want to talk about Bill the Cat really quick because when you mentioned Bill the Cat, I just had a flashback. I used to refer to you guys as the Pearl Jam band.
Oh my God, we did. Oh yeah. That we.
I felt like
Pearl
you did the
Jam,
whole album.
And we did because that's what everybody wanted to hear from us for some reason. We did Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden were the stuff that we just nailed really, really, really well. But it was like that kind of music then. I mean, the '90s all the way to even to the 2000s. That was just like it was prime alternative, like. And it was just fun to do, when you're able to like do Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and all of that stuff, and the whole place is rocking, it was such a great time. It really was.
It
such a great time. And I think there was so much more movement on music at that time. There were so many people came out to see so many different kinds of music playing, live, and I can't even. I mean, I even sing "For Non Blonde" still. I was doing it then, which is it puts it in that perspective. But yeah, I mean, we had so much fun doing that.
Do we put him on the spot?
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
No.
Want to hear it? Come on. Give me those haze.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah. Well, what I mean, you had like what bands were you in back in the early '90s? I mean, you were kicking it then. I mean,
who Z?
I played in one little garage band that played a little bit here and there, but then that's when I got really into radio and started working at K-Rock all the time. I didn't get back into music, playing to music until the Electric Company days.
Right.
And I was like, I want to do that. And I was like, I could still do that. And I did it.
Yeah, 94 was three-peat for me. So that was that we were doing 50s and 60s music in 94. So that's probably why we got booked at the Sunrise Lounge. You know what I mean? Like, our demographic was 40, 50-year-olds at the time. You know what I mean? In 94, I mean, you got to think playing that kind of music, that brought people back. So, we were
your
almost
age, you were pulling that's pretty good when you were pulling out at 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, I was 13, Joe was 14, and Jose was 15, and we were playing 50s and 60s music. Yeah.
Now, what got you? I mean, I'm not that I want to redirect away from me, but what got you into music at such a young age with you guys, just being together? And what?
Hey, we'll handle the interview around here, pal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll answer the question.
Relax with the questions over there.
I'll answer the question, but calm down, okay? This is our interview to you.
I'm 52. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, I mean, we've done this interview with me already, but no, Jose was Jose and I were in The Sound of Music. Jose was Captain Von Trapp, and I was Friedrich, the little boy.
Friedrich,
one of the kids.
Jose was in The Sound of Music.
Yeah, we all were. Yeah, we were all in musicals growing up and stuff. So, yeah, so Jose was Captain Von Trapp, and I had to play guitar in the middle of a scene, and so I bring my guitar in, and Jose comes in and says, "Hey, I heard you could play guitar." And I said, and I go, "Well, yeah, I'm holding one." But no, just me being a snotty little kid. And he's like, "Well," I go, "What do you want to hear?" He goes, "Play Stairway to Heaven." So I played it, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, My cousin Joe just moved down from Auburn." He's like, and we're kind of practicing up in my Uncle Joe's, practice room up at the Illinois Marine Corps. You want to come up and jam? I'm like, all right. There was two other guitar players. I came up, we played a little bit. Joe's dad asked us to play a benefit. The other two guys quit, and that's how it ended up being the three of us.
Wow,
so,
that's good. That's awesome. So at 13, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was fun. We had a great time.
Yeah. That's some longevity right there at a starting point. I didn't, like I said, I didn't get into until I was in my late teens, early 20s. So it was. That's
still early though, if you think about it. That's still early for you though. It's early for any band. I mean, really to actually start in a band. I mean, Bill, that band was you had to be late teens, right? Early 20s.
Yeah, I was early 20s. I was out of the Air Force.
Yeah.
I think for maybe a couple of years. So I think I was I think I was in my early 20s. Really 20, 21, somewhere around that time.
Yeah, that's still pretty early.
It is.
Yeah.
But
but I didn't. I think over time you learn what. Even in cover bands and stuff. But you kind of, as a vocalist, you try to learn. It's hard. You don't really know your voice right away. You learn it as you go along, and then over time. I'm 52. I can't hit the notes. I mean, you guys look at me like I'm nuts now, but I mean, can you?
Are we interviewing Mike Sales right now, or are we interviewing some other guy?
I know. I'm
just curious on what's going on here.
One thing I can say about Mike, he's always been super humble.
Seriously, I mean,
it's almost sickening.
Dude,
sometimes.
when you walk into Saranac and somebody's singing "Whole Lot of Love" and then breaks into fucking Journey, I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, if I was to sing one of those songs, I'd have to go and do vocal exercises in the bag and drink honey and lemon and try to maybe get through the rest of the night.
Bro, what about when he does his Queen medley?
Oh my God!
When he does that that Queen medley. It's like, dude, how do you? It just blows me away. And you're sitting there like, oh yeah, I can't hit the notes like I used to.
And then it's the same thing. It's the same thing as watching 13, 14, and 15-year-old kids do it.
Yeah.
It's the same as watching a 52-year-old man up there singing better than than the guy that sings for Journey right now.
I'm telling you,
You guys are nuts.
it's true though, Mike. You don't give yourself enough credit.
Yeah,
You never
seriously,
have,
man.
Yeah. Look, the way I try to see it is, I look at it in the terms of there's always somebody out there who's better than you. So,
for sure,
who's going to work their ass off, and they're going to come in and they're going to kick butt because they're just naturally talented and they've got they just got the drive to be accomplished and do what they do. And there's nothing that's a great thing to see, and that's a great thing to watch. And I think it's part of I think it's part of my job, particularly me, is to see those that next phase and that next gen of young musicians come up and that's just a great thing to watch and see, especially live when you're seeing a lot of them come along. If you're not humble about that, you're crazy. It's just how it needs to be, I think.
I understand that 100%. You said younger musicians. I mean, do you know of any younger musicians that are up and coming right now? We always ask that question here, and we usually get the same answer. No, man, I got nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's tough because there's so much YouTube now, and there's so much social media stuff where people are going live. That maybe we're not catching. But have you caught any local music up and comers that that are super talented that we're not hearing?
That's a very good question. I think I've seen a couple at least come across on social media through the Facebook kind of posts and things like that, through the Syracuse region, like in the Syracuse area. I think you were seeing a lot more come out from that side.
Yeah.
With rock and metal, some metal side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And those singer-songwriter kind of when Justin goes out there on his own and kicks some butt with himself and his guitar. But those singer-songwriters out there, I see a lot of female are coming out too, which is great to see. A lot of those young, just kicking ass with great vocals and great instrumental and just talented. Love to see it. We have to. It's we don't want it to go away.
No,
right.
I mean, this region, like you and I have talked about this a million times. This area is so talented with people for music, and we just have so much talent here that just gets missed, and I think overlooked. And I wish we had more opportunity to show that amount of talent.
We do. We're on it right now.
Yeah.
Sammy Award-winning show, brother.
That's right.
Come on, that's why we're doing this right now.
Do I have to go get
it? Here.
Do I have to go get it?
This is the platform.
Do you want me to go get it?
This is the platform.
That's it.
Get him, Justin. He's coming to your couch right now. You pissed him off. Grab me one too. I'll take a seltzer. See, he's also my waitress. He's my tag team partner and he's a waitress. See, you pissed him off.
Oh man, look at he's gone.
I love
it. This is great. I mean, this is awesome. Bud. I mean, he did get a beverage. Where's mine?
No, he went to go grab that right there, our prized possession.
Look at that.
I love it.
Quality workmanship. That's quality workmanship.
You don't know how long it took me to actually make a clone of the real Sammy. Because, we really didn't win.
You had to carve that one out.
No.
Oh, it's
sorry, I got to break.
It's actually, though, and like you said, though, there's so much talent. It's why we have this platform to showcase a lot of that. And I'll tell you, man, even just looking right now on the people that have commented just today, I mean, we've got people from Chicago, we got people from all over the place watching this show right now as we're live on multiple platforms, So
Yeah,
it's
great.
definitely growing, and we're definitely showcasing all the talent and all the great food that we have here in Utica, because we are a hidden gem.
Yeah.
It is.
That is for sure.
Absolutely.
And we like to showcase it. You know, love to hate it, hate to love it. Right? Is that what we talk about?
I mean, it's so funny because I mean, over the years, and you know, it's happened since long ago. Like when they closed, I think that when they closed the Erie Canal and railways became less and less traveled upon. I mean, it's when you started to see Central New York decline in a sense, because you didn't have those famous artists traveling by train from Albany to Buffalo and back and down to New York and stuff like that. So they're like all those spots that were along the way, they weren't there to these people weren't there to play, so those places died off or whatever, became different things.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I mean any music exec or anything like that, they come to New York, they're just going, they fly into JFK, they do what they got to do in New York City, and they fly back. And nobody, I mean, right. Central New York, I mean, it's like the way that people look at it in the world is it's like White Plains. It's like going up like Woodstock area. That's even pushing it, but that's considered upstate to them. And then the rest is
consider them as Yonkers.
Yeah, and the rest is like cornfield farming, farms, like cows and stuff. That's what they see. So I mean, there's not any music up there or anything like that, but there really was. It was this hidden, like you said, hidden gem of music and food.
Yeah,
that's why most of us are fat.
Fat, dumb, and happy.
Yes.
That's right. I'm working on it all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I want to jump back on your timeline really quick. What happens after Build a Cat? What band do you join after that? Or you go right into Simple Props?
Well, no, there was a hiatus in there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I took a little bit of time out from Build a Cat with great group of guys. And I tried my hand at a band out of Boston that came and saw me one night. I don't know. There was one of the guys that used to do music or sound in the music area. He was always at the Pizza Classic upstairs doing sound and everything there when Joe Bonamassa was up there just across from his area. So everybody saw the Pizza Classic area as like where everybody's got to do their practice, where their practice rooms were. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I could remember his name, but I guess there was a band called Skate the Razor. You remember that? You remember this?
Roy Costin just wrote that. Roy Costin wrote that in a comment. He said, "Skate the Razor." That's what he just wrote.
Skate the Razor. Yep. So I sat in with them, and they wanted me to. So we went on this really, really cool Northeast tour. We actually built a bus. The drummer actually bought a bus, a private coach that went between New Jersey and New York, and drove it up to Buffalo. And we got, my friend Jeff Lauder, who was the guitar player at the time, and I know he's still around. Hopefully, I think he lives in Vernon, or lives in the other side of Rome somewhere. But great guitar player. He was. We would travel there. We gutted this whole bus, repainted it, built it. We had a wraparound back couch that turned into a bed, had a guitar space, a bathroom. We had like 6 bunks.
Oh, wow.
It was so much fun to do at the time. And we jumped from, we did some spots in Massachusetts, Vermont. We took the Mass Turnpike all the way up to Maine, and we did Hempstock in Maine. We were like the headliners up at Hempstock in Maine. Oh my God, I have some stories. The Hempstock is it's stocked full of hemp.
Sounds like my kind of town,
right?
Oh my God. There's this guy that I wasn't like a party animal at all. I it was kind of surprised to me for being and getting involved with these just this crazy group of guys that were just great musicians and having so much fun. And going to Hempstock, and before we played, we were like trying to figure out what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do for like to stand out? So we all went to one of these like hemp dresses. We all got dresses. We all bought dresses and went up on stage and played our set in dresses.
Oh
full
my
out.
God.
It was hysterical. We had people following us the next day on the Mass Turnpike and recognized the bus, and they're throwing freaking pot out the windows. The bus. This is insane. We stopped at one of the. It was incredible. We stopped at like one of the Mass Turnpike sections, and we're just sitting there, and we had a guy who was a driver for the bus. This boatload of people comes out. This is my story. So Jeff was tight, right? He's a great guitar player, and he looked at the part. Not me so much. I'm a non-looker. But he was like, he was a straight up rock star, right?
Yeah.
So we're driving on the Mass Turnpike. We must be going 65, 70, and this small, like this Econoline van drives by the bus, right? And it's all these girls and women were in this bus, and they're looking at the bus, and it has private coach on the side and everything. And so one of the guys looks at Jeff. When we get to the next stop, Jeff, go out there in your like short shorts with nothing on except your short shorts, and bring out an album. We'll all sign the album cover. And now I'm sitting going, you people are nuts. He signs the album cover, and as soon as we stop, and he goes out the bus, and he goes to this van, and he sticks the album through the window of the van, and all the chicks in this bus start screaming. They're all yelling like, "Oh my God, this rock star signed him!" I'm just sitting back going, "Hey, this is insanity. Where am I right now?" Yeah, it was crazy. We had so much fun. We had so much fun on the road that couple weeks that we were playing, but that lasted about a year or two, and we disbanded. But then we got into into Simple Props. So been there ever since with Barney since 2000. So
Hey.
that was
Mike, we got a question out there on Facebook from Fred Waters. Wants to know if you were there the night Jackal borrowed Skate the Razor's drums and Jackal's drummer destroyed. Were you there? Jackal's drummer destroyed his kit.
Oh my God! Yes.
Would he grab the chainsaw or something?
What?
Was it in the middle of the lumberjack?
Smashed the shit out of it.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Well, those nights were fun. I'm glad he's reminding me of all those good times. My God, it's fun stuff, man.
Can you tell us the story? I want to know about this.
I know, right? Tell the story.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I remember it all the way. I know Matt was trying to. I know Matt was the. Honestly, I don't remember the whole thing. I just remember it coming about, but I know Matt was slightly PO'd.
A little bit.
But I don't know. I can't. Yeah, I remember the time, but I don't remember exactly how it started.
Yeah.
Or what happened, but
it's all good.
I was waiting for chainsaws.
I think
Well, you think Jackal, I'm thinking chainsaws.
Yeah.
Right? Because he comes out, it's part of their props. He even the chainsaws on the rider. I've worked with Jackal a few times.
Yeah, sure.
I actually know the drummer. I've driven him around a couple times. The guitar player and drummers are brothers.
Oh, okay,
They're two
gotcha.
brothers, and I can't remember. One's Jeff, and I can't remember the drummer's name. But
I wonder why they would ever ask to use another band's drum set if they're like that,
and then destroy it afterwards. Like that. What a dick move.
Yeah, totally.
Where are they from? Where are they originally from?
They're Georgia.
Yeah,
they're from Georgia. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a long time ago, man. That's a long time ago.
Freddie said he played with Jeff Lowder.
Oh
Freddie.
Yeah.
Well, it says laid, but I'm guessing he wanted to write played.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Okay, now I see. I can't see. Like I have to bring it up closer.
It does say laid.
Well, I mean, to each their own.
You laid with Jeff Lauder.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Judgment free zone.
Oh,
yeah.
totally, 100%, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, I know Jeff. I know Jeff left Skate the Razor after a little while and went and did some other bands, and he traveled around a lot. And I think he ended up coming back and marrying a great girl on the other side of Rome, and he lives out there now. But I think he hasn't been in music for a while, for at least 15 years or so. So, and it's what a great talent he was too. Incredible guitar player. I watched him build one of his first guitars too from mail order pieces. So.
Moyer's saying Jeff destroyed Lenny Milano's drum set at the Taste of Syracuse.
He's exaggerating because I was at that show. I was backstage, and he did not destroy his drum set. He played it hard, but he didn't destroy it.
Jeff is in Moyer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is he always ratting his brother out?
Why is he always...
Why are you being a rat?
We're talking to Mike Sales, Tim. This isn't about you.
Go to bed.
Go back to sleep.
Tim Moyer, ladies and
Oh, my
gentlemen.
God.
The unofficial sponsor of Local Music Monday.
Anyway, so Skate the Razor, and then when Simple Props start up, and what's the original lineup of Simple Props?
I need to hear that first.
Oh my God. Okay, so Jeff was our original bass player, and he was actually the bass player that was in Build a Cat with us.
Yep.
And then we had Vinny Amuso, who's our drummer. If you remember Vinny Amuso, the massive man Vinny is. I think he's in Buffalo now. He teaches electrical engineering at like RIT or something. Man, it's just a brilliant dude. And oh God. What's his name? Still out playing every once in a while too. Bill Ole. I don't know, man.
Are you sure you
Sorry,
didn't
put you on the spot.
Are you sure you didn't smoke a whole bunch of that weed at Hempstock?
Three OZs, baby. 3 OZs.
So my other question is, since we haven't been able to talk to Barney, I just have this vision in my head that like you're putting the band together, Simple Props is coming together, and like you just happen to be traveling down through Old Forge, and Barney's on the side of the road in nothing but shorts and like like his weird hat, and he's got his guitar, but he's trying to start a fire on the side of the road, and Mike like pulls up and been like, "Hey man, I got a gig for you, get in," and then Simple Props starts, because Barney's so like camping all the time, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, he's from Old Forge, so it's like, I mean, like that's how I kind of.
He still sets fires by rubbing sticks together.
I know he does. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Jeff called me one day and he said, "Hey, I want to put if you're not doing anything, maybe we can put together another band. I got this guy. His name's Barney Vanderwood, and he's a really good guitar player. Meet us on Saturday." And I'm like, "All right, I'll meet you on Saturday." It's been like that every Saturday.
Yeah.
We've gone through a few drummers, as time progressed. Our first drummer, had to move on after about 7 years or so. And then we had a few fill in. Then we had Pat Orlowski fill in with us. He was with us for about 5 years. And then and now we got Rich the man, the Galup. I mean, if anybody knows that last name, you got Rich Galupi sitting back there pounding the skins hard, So it's good stuff, It's the longevity is great. I've been with Barney since 2000, and now we're working with Billy Carmen. We brought Billy Carmen on after Eric Sarner left us, and he's been playing with us for I think 5, maybe 6 years now.
He's a monster. Oh my God.
I just every time I play with him, just sitting, just listening to him, just amazes me, the musicianship.
There's something about a bass player too that plays all those low notes but sings all the high harmony parts.
Yeah, man.
I love that. I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
That's one thing nobody talks about too.
Right.
Billy, they always talk about his playing, but no one talks about the guy can sing.
The guy can sing, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's got that. The others will pull Rush out of our head. Maybe sing like Getty. He's like,
Oh my God. You just did it right there. See?
I needed to hear that.
That's all we needed to hear.
And
Thank you so much
thank
for that.
you. And we can. All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Show's over. Hey, they want to know who was the guitar player in Bill the Cat.
Bill Oulette, Oulett, Yole. I think he was about
Olé.
Yes. If he was French, it's Olat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or from Canada.
Yeah. He's, a matter of fact, I think he's still in the area.
Mhm.
I think he lives in Sequoia actually, and I think he plays out every once in a while with one of the other guys. He's a keyboard player. I can't. My brain's shot. But he still plays out every once in a while. Yeah.
He probably thinks you're a dick right now for not remembering his last name.
Probably, or how to spell it.
Bill, guitar player guy. Bill.
Guitar player. Olé. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh
man.
God, somebody's gonna show him this too, and he's gonna be like, "You guys are a bunch of assholes."
Why would I support this?
I gotta be honest. He had he's got some pipes too. When we were in Bill the Cat, he sang harmonies, and he and I would put together those Alice in Chains harmonies, which is really, really tough to do.
Oh yeah.
Right. And he and I hit those so well all the time, just solid. He could, I mean, he was Stevie Ray Vaughan with a killer vocal style.
Right.
And, I give that man some props for being some talent as he is, great guy too. So.
I'm glad you said props. Where does the name Simple Props come from?
Yes, thank you.
REM.
REM?
Simple
the
prop
band?
to occupy our time.
Ah.
Wow.
I never
no
knew
longer
that.
like that band name. By the way, this is an unpopular unpopular opinion. I hate REM.
You're not a fan?
Not a fan at all. I think it's. I mean, I would switch off of VH1 and MTV anytime it would come on. Kids back at home back when they used to play videos on MTV. Anytime REM came on. Yeah, no, right. Anytime REM or it came on anywhere. No.
Really?
Bye.
Really?
Yeah.
No REM.
Yeah. Almost as bad for me as Nickelback. And you know what the thing is? The songs aren't bad in both bands. It's the singers.
Yeah.
That I can't deal with. Like Smashing Pumpkins, another band that I could do without.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But I like the music, I like the music.
Yeah.
I like the way the band plays. I like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The songs are good. Like I think Chad Kroeger is a great songwriter, but he should never have sang any of his songs. Ever.
The band rips.
Yeah, the band rips, definitely.
That
Yeah.
band freaking rocks.
But then you hear it's like, you should think of somebody singing like, "Look at this photograph," like in a nice voice, but you, "Look at this photograph." You're like, dude, just clear your fucking throat, please. Sorry, rant over.
I'm with you though. I'm not.
Well, it's kind of like watching Smashing Pumpkins live, right?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like when you hear them on the album, you're like, this is, you listen to Gish, and you're like, this song is just badass. It's just never stops, and
Yeah.
and then they play it live, and his voice is like, you're like, not so much.
The killer in me is the killer in you, right? And then you got REM. This one goes out to the one I love. I'm like, oh
You
God,
gotta slice your wrists.
seriously, man. Sorry,
I
rant over.
I get it. I get it.
Billy Corgan isn't in music anymore. He's in like pro wrestling.
Yeah.
He owns a pro wrestling organization now. So he's like, I'm done with music. I'm gonna go get beat up.
The thing that kills me is people that still think Smashing Pumpkins wrote "Landslide."
Really? I didn't know that.
No, they
Really?
did a cover of it, yeah, and it was pretty popular back in the '90s. It was pretty popular, and they're like, "You hear that new song by Smashing
Oh my
Pumpkins,
God.
Landslide?" I'm like,
Yeah.
like one of those Batman Robin things,
You definitely
Yeah.
get smacked for that.
Yeah, definitely.
That is funny.
Hey, Mike,
Oh
since
my
this
God.
pandemic, have you been doing any live streams or any of that? Has the band gotten together? Or?
I think. Well, no, we haven't been doing any live streams. We have been staying together. We have been, keeping warm. Trying to practice as much as we can. And it's tough. It's tough when you're taking 5 people who are in different regions at different times, at different parts of their lives, and trying to stick them all together. And find time to really create and make music. It's a hard thing. It really is a hard thing to do. You're married to these people a lot of the time,
sure,
and
yeah.
they become someone you have to rely on, and that's part of the dynamic is learning each other's personalities and staying relevant, and trying to and especially the pandemic doesn't help. It's hard enough.
Yeah.
Then you add a pandemic in there, and then it really is tough to do. But I think we just decided we wanted to just give ourselves a little bit of a break. Would we have liked to have played a couple times here and there? But nobody was, right? But but in general, I think it was just we wanted to stay relevant, keep ourselves warm, practice as much as we possibly could, and then just be prepared to when the lights go up and the signs say go.
Yeah.
We can hit the ground running, as everybody else is doing. I'm sure you guys are, Justin, you're out there, pounding the pavement on everything you do.
The problem is I'm not playing any Showtime songs when I play by myself or with poor Tim. So, we got rehearsal coming up for the new band this week, and legit forgot everything. I'm woodshedding this week like you would not even believe. I forgot everything. I haven't played with Showtime since October 26th.
Wow.
I think it was the 26th. Isaac French, if he's on, he'll tell me because it was his wedding. So that was the last time we played, that we literally played, period. And you were supposed to have a gig at One Jenny, and then it got rained out. Like, it literally got rained out. So that was, but yeah. So our first gig's at Dakers on Memorial Day weekend, and we're really going to be woodshedding. At least I am, anyway. I feel like I'm a new member of the band.
Can you talk about the new lineup?
Yeah, I can talk about the new lineup. Absolutely. So if anybody out there doesn't know, our drummer Joe moved to Nashville last Tuesday. It's bittersweet. Very excited for him, but obviously sad, of course. I've been playing with him since 1994, so it was, and he lived with me for the past week and a half before he left, which was awesome because it was another bittersweet moment because I loved having my brother around, but then when he left, it was sad. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whatever. And in the meantime, Jerry also left the band, and on that note, Mike, keep your phones open. Just like, whoa. So, yeah, so hang on. Jerry left the band, and obviously Mike has had some issues, personal issues and stuff that he's been dealing with, so Mike's been out, and Keith was in the band, but he plays with a band called, it's a Silver Arrow band. You guys know who used to play the Boilermakers, that band, that corporate band used to play the Boilermaker after
Nick
parties.
and the Nice Guys.
Nick and the Nice Guys. Okay,
so
Nick
and the Nice Guys.
Nick and the Nice Guys is like a corporate band that's like nationwide, and like it's like a company calls you up on the phone if you join the band. They call you, hey, are you available this day? Here's your set list. This is what you play, and you show up, and you have no idea who you're playing with. It's just like a put together band.
But Nick's always there.
But there's always
always Nick.
There's always Nick, but his name might be Fred. Yeah. But anyway. So he's a member of a band like that called the Silver Arrow Band, and so he's got a lot of commitments with them, and just it wasn't able to commit. So the lineup of the band now consists of Lenny Milano Sr. on drums, which was huge that he stepped in, and we're really, really excited about that. Right. And if there's a couple gigs that he can't make, so we got John Dugan from Classified is going to fill in those dates that he can't do, which is only a few. There's a few that he can't do. So and then keyboards, we got Carl Goodhines, he used to play with 805 and Classified. He's playing keyboard.
Carl's coming in too?
Yeah, he's coming in.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, here's the thing: like we actually have, believe it or not, Mike is a member of the Showtime family because we did a gig or two with him, which was awesome. And Carl's actually a member of the Showtime family too because there was a couple gigs last year, the year before, 2 years ago that Mike couldn't be in, and Carl played with us for a little while. Yeah.
Wow,
so
cool.
Yep. So Carl's in at keyboards.
Sick.
this guy you never heard of, Jose Lopez, playing bass. I mean, this new guy here. We got
God.
Yeah.
We may have to check his. You have to check his.
we
his,
picked him up on the side of the road.
I thought he was a soccer player.
Yeah.
No. He was soccer, right.
So anyway, no, it's so it's Jose and I, and
I
then
didn't know he played bass.
and then we got to sing. We have another relatively unknown guy by the name of Ryan Quinn who's going to come and sing with us.
I don't know him.
nice.
So
Nice,
yeah, so but the
nice.
reason why I say keep your phone line open is, and the only reason why we really didn't call Mike was because he's already in a band. So we were like,
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ryan. You asshole.
but I mean definitely, because I mean obviously if there's stuff that Ryan can't do, I mean we'd love to have you if you could do it. You know what I mean? So
what can't Ryan do? Come
Right.
on. What
well, I'm
can't
saying
Ryan do?
I'm saying like there's a couple of gigs. There's a couple of gigs that he can't do. You know what I mean? There's a couple of gigs because Ryan signed on for everything. He's like ready to go.
Awesome.
The day that Jose called him and asked him to be a part of us, and he's like, "Can we start practicing tomorrow?" He was like super excited, like he's all in, ready to go, which is really, really cool. And I mean, I think it's going to be a different dynamic of a band. I mean, there's
sure.
I'm no longer the youngest member of the band anymore, which I'm very upset about. Ryan is younger than me, and I'm very upset about that. I'm used to being the youngest, but
You're getting old, pal.
I am. I'm getting old
Yeah,
now.
I was about to say. This is
But I dealt with
new
him before
generation, new
when Ben
generation.
Salzman. When Ben Salzman was in the band, he was younger than me, so I dealt with him once before. But I guess I'll have to deal with it again.
If you got to step up a little bit,
So,
you're going to step up.
I mean, now we got but now we got this shitty ass lineup now for Showtime, so we'll be all right.
I don't think you could get any better.
You guys,
It's amazing, man.
look, it's a lot of good people right there.
Yeah,
Great
I mean,
musicians.
I'm so blessed, man, that after all this shakeup and what we had, that there was, I mean, all these people stepped up, and it was just great. You know what I mean? It was, I just to think when everything's going to fall apart, like Jose and I were just like, so should we call it? Should we do that? And then all of a sudden, a couple drummers started calling, and then a couple other people started calling. We're like, oh my God, people are hearing about this, and they want us to keep going. So, and
You have
people
to
are,
keep going, bro.
so.
It's part of your DNA. It's part of your fabric.
Oh, well, the thing is, I mean, like, I know that Jose and I would keep going, but it was just a matter of whether Showtime would continue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was Showtime as Showtime would continue. Because, I mean, it's, it'd have to continue like the way that we were doing it. It would have to be at that level or better, as far as I'm concerned, to continue.
It's
So,
got to continue. It's got to continue. You got to keep that thing going.
well, I mean,
it's an ecosystem all unto itself at this point.
You're right.
sure. I mean, it is a family. Anybody that sat in with us, we consider family. I mean, we didn't do the Christmas party this past year, but if we had done it this past year, I mean, Mike, you and your family would have been invited. I mean, it's like anybody that had anything to do with Showtime is always like part of us. You know what I mean? And that's just the way we've always been. So
Yeah, it's always been family
Well,
oriented.
Absolutely.
you were a great group of guys, and you guys have been just around the area for so long. Your talent is just, by far so good, and it's just the way it needs to be. It's a staple. You got to keep it.
I think it's longevity, because we all know exactly what buttons we had to push to make each other pissed off, and we just decided not to push those buttons because we were playing so much, and it was like, if we're going to be around each other this much, we should probably try not to piss each other off.
Don't piss me off.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. It is a good way to look at it, though. Because Mike brought it up earlier. You're in a relationship with all these other people.
Sure. It's a marriage.
I was hanging out with Mannion over the weekend, Adam Mannion, Trampoline Jetstream. All right, I was hanging out with him for a little while, and he was talking about the dynamic in his band. Those guys have been together kind of like you guys since they were 13, 14 years old. And now here they are, 23, 24 years old, and they've gotten like such a tight knit, like they're brothers, without being blood.
Sure.
He's out playing with other bands here and there. He goes, playing with these other groups makes me realize on how tight, what a great thing we have with Trampoline Jetstream. Because, he sees the dynamic amongst that.
Yeah.
And
I love to see how their music has evolved, too, from the beginning, because they weren't always Trampoline Jetstream. What was the other name? Glen Street.
Yeah.
So they went from Glen Street. They went from Glen Street into that whole, into the Trampoline Jetstream, and their music changed. Like as they grew as people,
they evolved.
Their music evolved as well, which I mean, and even though we were a cover band, the same happened to us. We got interested in other stuff. Obviously, starting with 50s and 60s music, we didn't want to stay there.
Right.
We all had more interest in then, Dave Matthews, of course, we went through that phase, which we still get people that say Dave Matthews. And if nobody says Dave Matthews, I don't play it. I just don't.
You just burnt on it.
Oh my God, dude! Everybody's like, "Oh, you're going to see Dave this year?" No, I'm not going to go see Dave. Not going to go see Dave.
You're not friends with him. Stop calling him Dave.
Oh, I know, right? Sorry, I'm not going to go see the Dave Matthews Band.
There you go.
I mean, plus they're not even the same band anymore. So I mean, their sax player passed away. God rest his soul. He was amazing, and they fired the violin player for having a.
Oh, dude, he lost his mind.
Yeah, he's out of control.
Easy.
He lost his mind.
I'm gonna leave it there, but he's no longer with the band anymore. I mean, so it's to me, it's not the same band that I saw in '98, '99. When I was watching them. So.
But it's
I'm going to use Trampoline Jetstream as a great example.
Yeah.
Right. Barney's son being one of those members of it. I mean, he was in our practice room since the time he was, 6, 7 years old, watching us play music, and he would sit in there learning the stuff, seeing what we're doing, learning vocals. I mean, how many times after we did a practice, he would sit down and I would go through vocal exercises with him. Barney would talk to him using your head voice and
right.
all of these. He grew up on that stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So he's got that. He's you see him evolve from being this young kid to a man playing his music, doing it his way, and all of the guidance that he's gone through that is a great thing to see.
I know that you'll appreciate this too, because I saw the same thing. Like, I watched the exact moment that Nick Vanderwood came into his voice, because he was always, when he was younger, he didn't really know how to control what he had. Because he could sing so high, but he could sing 1 or 2 songs really high because he was using his voice wrong to get to those notes. And Mike, I know Mike was helping him. We were trying to help him, to learn how to breathe from his diaphragm to, control that a little bit better. And then it was like one day he went to sleep one night and I woke up the next day with a Jesus beard and long hair and singing. Yeah, I'm going. What the fuck happened to this kid?
He wakes up one day, he goes, "Hey, my name is Nick.
My name's Nick, but I sing like an angel." So
But no, I mean, it was like he really, like, it happened overnight though. He went from this little tiny kid to this man that could sing. It was like, wow. I mean, like, it was almost like his brain while he was sleeping wired it all together. It was like all the stuff that we had all talked about with him, all the vocal exercises that you helped him with and stuff. But I mean, that's how we all grew up, though. I mean, at least me. I came up and I listened. I soaked everything up like a sponge. Nick had you guys to watch. I mean, I had bands around my area like Carmen Brickfield. There was a couple other alien bands. Stevie Rigo and stuff like that. I mean, he taught me how to play the solo of the Stairway to Heaven. Sal Nettie from another band taught me the pentatonic scale. I mean, like, if it wasn't for those guys, growing up, and if I was a snot-nosed kid that was like, "Fuck, I'll learn on my own. I don't need you guys," I wouldn't be where I am right now. You know what I mean? And it's like,
be the sponge, right?
And it's like, can you imagine Nick Vanderwood if he didn't have Mike Sales or anybody else around him, or if his dad didn't play guitar? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He might not have ever known that he had that talent inside of him, which is just something I've always, I'm always thankful for. I mean, you're always on a path to where you need to be, and think about where you'd be if you didn't hit that path.
So true.
And non-musically, I'm sure he's sitting back there saying, I'm watching these 4 guys or these 5 guys. They're arguing. They can't come up with a reason why. What keys everything in? When they leave, they're still pissed off at each other. He's learning not only the music side, but how to communicate, how to address situations and play music together with people. And how to do it right, and that's a great thing to learn and see that as you evolve from being a little kid to someone his age.
Sure. Yeah, that's something I wish that, and I feel sad for all the young. That's another reason why I posed that question to you, because like a lot of these younger kids are diving into YouTube, they're not taking guitar lessons, so teachers can't teach anymore because they have teachers on YouTube that give free lessons. So you can just go on YouTube and learn anything you want, and then you could do all this stuff now where like you put together the band online or whatever, and you play like. These kids don't even need to leave their house. Why would they come out and watch a bunch of old geezers play? You know what I mean? Because that's the way they look at us until they hear us. You know what I mean? Until kids hear what we can do and what we've built over all that time. And I mean, it's amazing when you see kids come out and they're like, what does all those things do? All those pedals? And I'm like, do you really?
I just have my laptop and a microphone.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But in Mike's,
I'll show you my iPad.
In Mike's situation, they just look at his throat and go, "How the hell does that do that?"
Can I get that in my Pro Tools?
Yeah, right. Is there a plugin called Mike Sales? No, but I mean, they look at the pedal board and like, what does that do? And I'm like, I asked them the same. Do you really want to know what that does? I asked that question. Do you really? And they're like, yeah, man, it's really cool, like what you do. And I'm like, okay, I just have to make sure that you're actually interested in what this does before I spend my time explaining what it does, because most of these kids are like, nah. The one thing I dealt with in studios before, you get young kids that are like, I don't need to play with a click. I don't need to play with a click. Playing with a click is like all the old guys, they didn't play with clicks, and I'm a naturalist, I don't need to play with a computer click or whatever. The thing that they're not realizing is that the way that recording is done now with drums first, then the bass plays, then this plays, and then this plays, and then you have to be able to edit it all together with Pro Tools, which is why a click is used. So everything can be mapped out, okay? Back when Led Zeppelin played, okay, John Bonham didn't use a click. But
I hope he doesn't use a pick.
Right, but he was playing live with his band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could hear his band. He was all play together.
If you bring John Bonham's drums into Pro Tools and you watch that stuff get timed out, all of those things, it's not synchronized.
No,
it's complete. It's different timing in every certain section, and that's what brings life to a song. When and I can't remember what they call it in Pro Tools when you sync the drums on.
It's quantizing
everything, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You lose when you're quantized. To me, at least, that's why I like listening to live music more now. That there's something about listening to live music and that life. Yeah. And that life that music has, that breathing time when that drummer slows down or speeds up at those specific times, and the songs take a life on their own. Yeah. And when you're playing to a click all the time and everything there's no life there anymore. Right. There's no feeling to it.
Yeah, there's no tightness to the band either, because that's the whole. I mean, those bands that were so many pre-production rehearsals to make sure that they were so tight playing the song, because you only had a certain amount of time to get that stuff. You know what I mean? Each song you had, okay, we're going to work on X song for 2 days. 2 studio sessions is going to be X song. So not only are you working on getting the main tracks down, but if there's any overdubs that need to be done, which if you did overdubs, you're playing with your band. So you're just as tight as you are, because you're feeling what the band, and there's nothing better than playing live, man. There's nothing better than playing live with a band in a studio. It's just awesome. But, I mean, I'm the same way, though. I hear a song that I like, and I have to go find them doing it live, because if they can recreate live, what they're doing in the studio and make it feel right, then I dig it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But who the fuck am I anyway? I'm just in a cover band.
Yeah, but you've been around, brother. You've been around.
Right there with you.
You've definitely been around. Nice, Mike. This has been fun to hang out, man. We got to get you in the studio next time.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love for him to come down and do acoustic,
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for doing this spare of the moment, too, and Justin for getting this all down. We had a cancellation today. So what we're going to do, actually, and we're going to do this on a monthly basis. It was supposed to start up today, but we're going to start having live acoustic performances in studio. So, but we're going to start. And as a matter of fact, our very first person to do this with us, as we just spoke of him, Nick Vanderwood. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it next month. So we're going to have him come in next month, and he's going to play a couple tunes for us and hang out and talk about him being a little kid.
Yeah,
Totally. There you go. There you go.
All that stuff. But watching him grow has been truly amazing.
For sure.
And having you on today, Mr. Sales, has been truly amazing, man. This has been a lot of fun, man. We appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me coming in at secondary. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, you're third. You're number 3. We couldn't get a hold of Barney.
We couldn't get a hold of Barney. He's in Old Forge on Racket Lake or something.
He's up in Old Forge, like putting a roof on somewhere.
He's wearing cut-off jean shorts somewhere. I don't know.
Walking barefoot through the woods.
He's starting a fire, rubbing sticks together.
Eating berries. Oh God! Hey, by the way, I got to ask you because I'll forget about it again. But do you have my book still?
I do. I got
thank
it,
God.
It's locked down and it's secure. And
Have you read it yet?
I have, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Did you like it? Was it good? Did you like it?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we got to talk about it. We'll have to talk about it. Definitely.
Okay. No worries. I'll bring it the next time I come in.
All right, brother.
Hey, Mike, before we get out of here, plug the band where people can find all your social media tags and all that.
Jesus, Simple Props, the band. That's who we are. Let me open up this God blessed screen so I can read shit off with this quick memo. I think the next place we're going to be playing, I think we're in Nothing Fancy on May 15th. We're going to be there.
Oh, cool.
We were planning on being the back door up in Old Forge, but I think that had gotten canceled. And the Black Flag Challenge got canceled, but I think we're still at the back door May 29th. So you can find us on Facebook. Just look up Simple Props. We're there. And we'll be around with Justin all over the place, hitting the brew house over in Verona, in Vernon at the lake, and we're everywhere. We'll do what we can. We'll do what we can to please everyone.
People, make sure if you get a chance, go check out Simple Props. They always put on a fantastic show. Mike, it just hits a whole nother level when it comes to showmanship and singing. And they do this Queen medley that always blows me away. And the kid play. It's just amazing what you guys do. I mean,
sure is.
They play freaking Zeppelin and hits Zeppelin.
And then sing as a Journey song right after. That's what I'm talking about, man.
And it's nothing. And it's amazing what you guys do. And we're all lucky to be in this circle. And thanks for always donating your time, man.
I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one for being around you guys, for having me sit in. And Justin, thank you for having me sit in with Showtime here and there, and all of us. I mean, you guys are great. I mean, we wouldn't be, where we are now if it wasn't for Z doing his work and Justin doing your work.
That's for sure.
And that's how it works here.
Thanks, brother.
We're a group.
Much love to you, my friend.
It's a family here.
Absolutely, sure is.
Where's Justin playing this week?
Justin is playing Friday by myself with. Thursday night.
You're playing with yourself Friday.
Yes, yeah. No, Thursday night we are playing. Thursday night we are playing at the wonderful establishment Richard Smith's. On Thursday with Gary Johnson.
That's the law office of Johnson and Smithson.
Yeah, the law offices of Johnson and Smith will be playing at the fine establishment of Richard Smith's. And that'll probably start promptly at 8 o'clock-ish. And then Friday, I'm solo at Harpoon Eddie's from 6 to 9.
Sweet.
Yeah, Saturday, the Showtime Trio featuring Lenny Milano Sr. will be at Lucan's at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. You know, if we could start that song up and play back again, can we just take it back to the top, please? Can we?
Oh, my God. It's so much fun. Oh, my God. You have no idea. I have had so much fun just hanging with him.
That was my Lenny Milano impersonation.
That's great.
This past 2020, this past summer, I literally built a room with him, Joe, and I, and it was Lenny overloaded, and I loved every second of it. Yeah, every second of it. It was great.
I can't wait for it. I can't wait for the Central New York All Stars to get back together and see if we can do
that would be so cool.
For an outside. You know, if we might not be able to do it inside, let's find a big venue outside.
Yeah.
Let's get Central New York All Stars back together again. Let's pull that together and let's just knock it out of the park and show what kind of talent we got around here.
We got to create
all of those guys.
Drive-in concerts around here. I'm telling you right now, there's got to be a market for it. You know, like a drive-in movie theater. You know what I mean? Instead of the theater screen, you got a big stage, and people drive their cars up, sit on top of their cars. They're 6 feet away. What the hell?
Yeah.
You know.
But that message out there that Mike just said, Jerry Krause, if you're listening, let's get the CNY All-Stars back together.
Hell yeah.
Make it happen. I think it would be great, man. What a great job that was. That was so much fun when everybody got together.
I love watching all the videos, man. It was just, that's all I could do is watch the videos because, unfortunately, I couldn't be a part of it.
Justin. We gotta get you in there, Just. We gotta get you in.
He'll be in there.
You have to talk to my agent, Jose Lopez. He tells me where and when I have to play. So.
Oh, man. Before we get out of here, I got to give love to my sponsors. Thank you to Matt Grabsky and Joey's at 307. Go check out Joey's at 307. You want great lunch. You want a revolving dinner menu, some seafood dinner. Joey's at 307 Mohawk Street. Check them out. Also, shout out to Saranac Brewery, Utica Coffee, my attorney Dave Longaretta, and my good friend Eddie Alsheimer over at EJA Moving Services. If you need something moved right now, if you want to move whatever, you want to move this couch that Mike's sitting on right now, Eddie will move that couch that Mike is sitting on right now. Hit him up today at 315-335-0516, EJAmoving.com. This has been great, man. Thank you so much, Mike, for hanging out with us.
We love you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me.
Go check out Simple Props. We'll be out to see you this
yeah.
summer for sure, man. I definitely can come rock out. And I'm just coming to see Barney anyway. So
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, we don't.
Who is that, right?
Who is it? Who is it? Everybody out there in Facebook land, if you could do us a favor and like Disruption Network and click share and share this video, and then also subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Justin, say goodnight.
Love you, brother.
See you, buddy.
Love you, Mike.
Later.
Love you guys, man. Be good.